the last office hours of 22-23. We'll be back next year. But for right now, it is the summary recap of 22-23. Josh Tobar, principal of Memorial Pathway Academy in Garland ISD, Garland, USA. Ready to rock and roll with all of these guys right here. All of this awesome talent and knowledge. So we're ready to rock and roll. We want your 2 cents, your ideas, reflection on today. So if you're in Alaska or Hawaii, whether you're in Maine, in Florida, or anywhere in the 48 middle, we want to hear from you. If you see it on the rebroadcast, please like it and share it. Dean Packard.
Hey, well, thanks for handing over the baton to me. Josh, great job. Once again, happy Tuesday night, and we just lost one, but I bet that person will be right back because I'm not worried about it. Hey, listen, we're glad you're with us tonight. My name is Dean Packard. I'm the proud principal of Charlton Middle School in Charlton, Massachusetts, soon to go on to another high school job, but I am excited closing out a school year, and I'll tell you what, it's been nothing but a real blast and a great journey for me. Again, one of the co-founders of Unlock the Middle, and this is all about getting a little bit better each and every time we come on one of these shows, Josh. So great to have all you here with us. Let's quickly go around the room. Just your name, where you're from, and what your title is. Melissa, you're up first.
Hi, I'm Melissa Harvey. I am principal at Bobby Summers Middle School. I'm in Fate, Texas, between Royce City and Rockwall.
Outstanding. Nice. Welcome to the show. Edith, you're up.
Hi, everyone. I'm Edith Valencia. I live in Banning, California, and I work for Banning USD. I'm the executive assistant to the superintendent and the board of trustees.
Outstanding. Welcome aboard. Elizabeth.
Elizabeth Padilla, Greco Middle School assistant principal in Tampa.
Florida. Well, welcome Cougars. To the show. Efrain, you're up.
Efrain Martinez. I am the principal of Northwood Middle School in Highland Park, Illinois.
Outstanding. Well, welcome, guys. Great stuff right there. Josh, back to you. You got to turn it on.
I know I did it. Which destination spot is better? Dean Packard. Aurora Borealis in Iceland or the volcanoes in Kona, Hawaii?
Ooh, I go Aurora Borealis.
Melissa.
Okay, am I answering question one?
Yes. No.
No.
Which one is better, Aurora Borealis in Iceland that you would like to visit, or seeing the volcanoes in Kona, Hawaii?
Kona, Hawaii. I have not been there, but I want to go.
Edith?
I'll have to go with Borealis. I've been to Hawaii, so I'd like to see something different.
Elizabeth?
So I've been to Iceland. I did see the Borealis, so I want to see the Borealis rather than the volcano.
All right, Efrain?
I want to see the volcanoes.
And the correct answer is Iceland. You all need to go to Iceland.
Where does he pull this stuff out of? I never know.
Here we go. Here we go, Melissa. Well, where would you have rather have been? At the Ed Sullivan Show where the Beatles came out the first time, or waking up to Jimi Hendrix playing the Star Spangled Banner?
The Beatles.
Edith?
Agreed. The Beatles.
Elizabeth?
I have no idea. I will go with the Beatles. I don't know any of them. Puerto Rican.
Efrain?
I will go with Jimi Hendrix.
Dean Packard?
Beatles.
You are right, Efrain. It is Jimi Hendrix in the morning after Woodstock. Exactly. All right, Edith. Edith, here we go. Where is the best place to go? New Year's Eve, Times Square, or Washington, D.C. on the 4th of July?
Oh, gosh. Washington, D.C., 4th of July. I think it'd be too cold. Too cold in D.C. or too cold in New York.
Edith? Elizabeth, I'm sorry.
I was at Washington, D.C.
Efrain?
Me too. D.C. all the way.
Dean Packard?
Times Square, baby. Let's go.
And last but not least?
Times Square.
And the answer is D.C. for 4th of July. Come on now. Americana. Let's go. All right, 20 minutes, guys. We've only killed 4, so we got 16 minutes to answer these questions. Here we go, everybody. Join us out there if you are in the show. Question number 1, Dean Packard. What was one of your best interactions with parents in 22-23? 1.
Best interaction with parents. When I had an individual parent say to me, you know what, I want you to hold my child accountable because we need to help him shape his thought process before he goes on to high school. And it was just one of those things where I thought it could have gone south quickly, but it came around and it all worked out well. The student support team was there, and I made a great relationship with this parent, and hopefully down the road it's going to be good for them.
Love it. Melissa?
It was definitely when a parent told me that most kids don't know her kid's name. And I say good morning to that kid every day, and it made a difference in their lives.
Love it. Edith?
Definitely one of the parents who reached out with concerns about their student at one of our middle schools, and nobody was listening or helping or paying attention. And I was able to get their answers addressed, and they came back to personally meet me and say, thank you for taking the time. That's all we needed.
Love it. Elizabeth?
From your most interesting parents all year long requesting and demanding stuff, and at the end of the year calling you to say thank you for everything. I know I was a pain, but you did answer every single question, and you did it with grace. I'm like, oh, you think that about me? So it was amazing.
Love it. Efrain?
So on Fridays, I send parents, and I have emphasized the issue. This is a middle school, the issue of social media and how it impacts students with advice. I have had several parents come forward, thank me for that and for that labor of love, and that's a feeling.
Love it. Question 2, Melissa, hurry. What was one of the best athletic events you witnessed in your school this year?
So get ready for the tears, but we had a kid have a heart attack. And so we did 3 minutes of CPR, rotated probably between 3 coaches. The emergency team told me he would not make it to the hospital, and he's back in school. 3 months on a ventilator. And the people I have here are the best. So
Beautiful. Edith?
Awesome. Yes, last month our boys baseball team went to playoffs for the first time ever in Banning history. Game 1, it was 0-0 all the way up to the wire, and last inning before it was going to go to extras, they got a base hit to score that winning run and just win that 1-0 to take it to the next game. It was awesome being there.
Beautiful. Elizabeth?
So our girls track and field made it and won the district. So being from a very tough Transformation Network school, winning is like a win, right? So amazing to see the girls running super fast.
Efrain?
Beautiful. Towards the beginning of the year, there was a soccer game, and I happened to go and visit. And it was so cool to be in the presence when they won and celebrate with the children.
Dean Packard?
Back in the beginning of the year, we had about 72 kids try out for cross country. They ran their first race. I had the opportunity to coach them. Our coach couldn't do it, and watching them all finish and just meeting their personal best times was so cool. It was a thing that they could do on their own, and I was so proud of them.
Awesome. Question number 3. What was one of the best interactions you had with any of your students this school year? Efrain?
Well, I do restorative practices, right? So when you get to a student to realize I did something wrong, I want to apologize to the teacher and do it in a way that is sincere, that absolutely takes the prize.
Dean Packard?
Making a decision not to suspend a child because they did something really bad. And I mean, nothing that was, over the top that would have been police involvement, but having that child come to the realization that someone cared about the person enough to have a conversation and have her look deep inside and reflect and make sure that didn't happen again. Because we can doesn't mean always we have to do that.
Melissa?
mine is always when a student teaches me. And so I'm not necessarily know much about farming, but a student taught me how to judge a dairy cow.
Okay, that's interesting.
I'm speechless. Oh, I'm sorry. Edith.
So obviously I'm in the district office. I don't get to be with the students that much anymore, but they had the high school graduates had a legacy walk, and they walked through all the elementary schools, and they came through our office. And so I started substitute teaching there at the district back in 2013. That was the first year. And one of the students that was doing the legacy walk we kind of like locked eyes. I couldn't really remember her name, whatnot, but she came up to me, gave me a hug. She's like, Miss Valencia, it's so good to see you. It's awesome. Like you were one of the greatest substitute teachers that we had, and it's just good to see you. And so that just warmed my heart to know that the students actually still remember, and I was able to make that impact.
Elizabeth.
I got too many. This has been hard for me thinking which one I'm gonna pick. So I have this kid completely quiet because you are not to talk of anything that you see, right? But the kid came to my office and he said, like, I'm gonna talk, Miss Padilla, I'm gonna talk. I want to change, and I promised my mom. And after what happened at my community, I want to be straightforward. I want to finish school. I'm not ready to die due to an accident, so I'm gonna do what I'm supposed to be doing. And he did. He straightened up himself.
Love it. Question number 4. What was the best interaction you witnessed between colleagues? Edith.
Man, in our office, we there's a lot of different dynamics, obviously with different personalities, whatnot. And one of our staff members came in having a very rough time because her dad had passed away. And so the team just kind of all got together, helped her out, gave her love, support, but just as everybody came together to be there for her and help her because they had to transport her dad actually out of the country. And so the expenses and whatnot. And so that was very heartwarming to see everybody come together to help her and her family.
Elizabeth.
So we have several as well. I recall this teacher specifically not understanding the leadership and the leaders' guidance and coaching, and just not understanding, not following through. And at the end of the year, wrote letters to every single member of the team and writing letters of what she appreciated of every single one of them. It was breathtaking from a lot of the leaders, and they all have something to say about that teacher. So it was really nice to see that happening.
Efrain.
We provided professional learning on the language that we use and how important it is and how it impacts students. And I witnessed a kind of hectic conversation between two staff who perhaps took it a little bit personal, and seeing them have a congruency at the end and come up together, that was very uplifting.
Dean Packard.
Watching two staff members come together for collaborative practice to understand scope and sequence of what's being taught and put aside their differences for methodology, but more importantly, put the best interest of kids at the forefront and come together and create these magnificent lessons that everyone did together. And it took a little bit of time, but somebody had to give up something that they were very comfortable with to do so. But it was really good to watch because it was good for kids.
Melissa Harvey.
I think I'd have to agree with Dean. At PLC, we had 2 different philosophies going on, and one had better scores than another. And they decided to take on and just try one time what another teacher had done in practice, and it worked.
Love it. Love it. Look at all this love this whole year. Here we go. Question number 5. Question number 5. We just had someone come in from New Mexico. Introduce yourself real quick.
Sean Mena, principal of Camino. Hi, guys.
Okay,
Welcome,
Sean.
Sean.
We're on question number 5. Efrain, what was the best interaction you witnessed between a student and adult?
So it happened recently. During recess, a student gets bored and he starts throwing a rock and batting the rock like it's a ball. And he hits the car of a BMW, one of the teachers, and she's like adores this car. She is upset. She is furious. So I work on the student on how to use emotional intelligence to get to the heart of the teacher and to get to apologize. And seeing that teacher de-escalated by the expressions of this child, I will never forget that moment.
Dean Packard.
I kind of watched a situation come to fruition through a cafeteria manager and students, and watched somebody who was not in the world of education have an understanding about how to connect with students from a different way. And it was really nice to watch because I saw a whole group of individuals come together and really understand their role within the complex puzzle of the world we live in. And it was just a really good thing because the child left happy, and it was a good story for an ending.
Melissa.
I think it was an adult and a student that I felt like had a personality conflict all year. And then at some point it clicked that the adult wasn't going to give up on the student. And at that moment on, the student was sold and then started trying.
Love it. Edith.
It has to be this group of 3 students that just happened to walk into the district office one day asking for water because it was really warm out. So I'm in California, close to Palm Springs. The summers are killer, and our summers can go all the way into November. So as they're walking home, they just kind of stumbled into our office asking for water, and so we gave them water. And there's 3 of us that sit in the front. And it just became kind of like their routine to come in, say hi, can we get some candy, get some water? And they just felt at home and comfortable. And it was nice to make that connection with those boys. Like, we miss them now. They're out of school for the summer break, but it was great.
Love it. Elizabeth.
That last day, we have the 8th grade dance. They did it in the hallways, like a block party or something. And the leaders decided to just put music, and the kids were so happy. They were like, even though the actual dance was canceled for what other reason, this is way better, Miss Padilla. This is cooler. So they're having fun, hugging teachers, kissing teachers. And one kid, those kids that you will remember forever, he went up and said, I got a 3 on my math exam. I'm like, this is amazing. So they really had a blast, and they enjoyed the last day hanging out with their teachers.
Love it. Sean Mena.
So we had, I have a brand new teacher on campus. He's only been with me since March, and he's got a little bit of a lax attitude with classroom management. He was just really struggling, and I had 2 boys that would make fun of him every day, and they would do things like play with his hair and just all sorts of stuff. So we ended up sitting and doing a restorative circle with the kids, and that really made a major difference in terms of their behavior after that, because we started off as a harm circle, and then afterwards we did a kind of a re-entry circle for how they're going to act in class. And he told a lot of his own personal story to them, and then they created some empathy, and the kids treated him well to the end of the year. So we were very happy with the outcome.
Beautiful. Melissa Harvey, what song describes your 22-23?
I think it would be Unstoppable. It talks about putting your armor on every day. And I think I have to do that.
Edith.
I'm going to have to go with the Beatles. I am a Beatles fan. So Here Comes the Sun. It was a change in leadership and a change in culture, a change in everything in our school district, new superintendent, new to my role. So a lot of bumps and challenges, but we made it through, and we see the progress, and we see just the positivity that's come out of everything. And so we're excited for the next school year.
Hey, Elizabeth.
Oh my God, this is a hard one.
Hard question.
So I got one in Spanish, like yo no sé mañana. I don't know tomorrow. I don't know what is gonna happen tomorrow.
Yeah, like that.
But it was a very hard year. But let's see what happens in the new one.
Sean Mena.
This was my first year at this particular campus, and we spent the year working on culture. And really, because the teachers were very unhappy when I first came in at the beginning of the year because of the previous year. And so ours was, we actually played it the last day. It's We Are Family. And so we built family for the year. And I really love them, and it's just been great. So.
Efrain.
I'm thinking which song. I will have to go with. I'm here looking at my Spotify. There's a jazz by John Coltrane called "Love Supreme." It is so appropriate to end the year with that.
Dean Packard.
Hey, I'm going back to the decades when you were a kid, Josh Tovar, to the 1980s. I'm going with Journey. Don't Stop Believing, baby. That's where I'm sticking. Right to my story.
And that is the end of our first season of Office Hours. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. But you know what? Hey, Dean Packard, it's not over.
It's never over, Josh.
The flagship show on Sunday. The flagship show. Join us 7 p.m. Eastern. Be there or be square. We'd like to thank all our guests being here. Thank you very much. Have a blessed summer. Enjoy it. rested, but most importantly, be ready for 23-24. And as that young guy in the corner says, don't stop believing. That ends office hours.
Hey, don't stop believing, guys. Thank you very much for joining us. Great job. Please stay on, guys. Remember, everything we do is for kids. Don't forget about that, because that's what makes kids better. Have a great week, everybody, and stay on if you can for one moment.